Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Juliana and I am a lover of makeup, especially colorful makeup. Today I'm going to be sharing with you round 2 of my Glamshop purchases. So I made a previous video about the palette I got from Glamshop and I got some more. So this is the second round. So I call this round 2 of Glamshop palette swatches. So let's get swatching. I'm going to start with their monochromatic series. That's the best way to describe them. So these, I believe they have about 6 or 7 within the range. I only got 3. So I'm going to start with this orange one because it's quite similar to Paprika palette. So I want to get out of the way and quickly give you a comparison between this and the Paprika palette. So this one is called Klementynka Palette, which Clement I believe is something like orange. Yeah, that's what it is. And this is what the inside of the palette looks like. Now it's an orange toned palette, same as the Paprika, but the difference between the Paprika is an orange red based palette. So if you look at it in comparison, even without the white background, you can see that they are totally different. So this is Paprika is got a mixture of orange and burgundy tones in it, and this one is just orange, brown with lilac kind of shades, if you like, peach if you like. I mean, I have already swatched the Paprika in my previous videos, and I also actually did a tutorial. I did a look on this Paprika palette. Let's get on with today's video, which is a round 2. So the Klementynka palette, again 9 shades, monochromatic, and I'm going to swatch the shimmers. On this channel, I don't tend to swatch mattes because mattes can be generic for me, especially because for me, I buy palettes based on the shimmers. So however attractive the shimmers are is what's going to attract me to that palette, not the matte. I'm not really into mattes. As far as matte is concerned, I think Viziat has the handled and I have most of their palettes, so I'm never fussed about mattes in any palette. So let's get swatching with the shimmers. Alright, there are 4 shimmers in this palette. The first one, and this one is one of those ones that you let melt onto your skin and then you swatch. Absolutely beautiful. It's very soft to the touch, so be very careful when you're picking it up. But these are the shimmers in the, I want to say, let me not butcher it, Klementynka palette. I'll put the name on the video, but these are the shimmers in this palette. Beautiful. I mean, I love oranges, so for me, this was a no-brainer. So that's the Klementynka palette. Klementynka palette. Next palette is the Burgund palette, which this is at least easy to pronounce. And this is got 4 shimmers as well. And I'll just swatch the shimmers for you. First one, and this one, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like green flecks in it. This one, it's got green flecks in it. I can see it's not very visible in my swatches, the green flecks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a matte down and then I'm going to put this shade on it so you can see the shade in action. It's absolutely beautiful. Alright, these are 2 of the mattes in that palette, and I'm going to put down that shimmer on top of both of them, just so you can see the effect. Oh my, can you see it now? Now you can see the green flecks in the shimmer. Absolutely beautiful. And that's what I did. I literally put these 2 colors, one in my crease, one to darken it up, and then put that shimmer on top of it, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Took me 2 minutes, but it looked like I'd spent so much time doing it, and the matte was so buttery as well. Honestly, beautiful look and beautiful palette. All the shades were just gorgeous. Alright, moving on to the Citrynada palette, which I believe will be citrus in English. And again, it's a 9-pan palette and it's monochromatic. And this is what the inside looks like. Look at that. This I bought for the mattes. Oh, absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. I could not resist the yellows. And I'm going to try and swatch all of these ones for you. Oh, all of the shades in this palette is so beautiful. The first 3 shades in the first row. Oh my. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Let's go to the middle row. Alright, middle row. Look at that. Oh my, just look at that. That is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The final row. Look at that. That is beautiful. Again, this is one of those shades where when you lay it on a mat, that's when you see the beauty of the shimmer. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, and that's the Citrynada palette. Beautiful. Okay, moving on to the last of the 9 pan palettes. Is called Glam Walmart, and it's like a camouflage design. So it's a green toned palette, really, and that's what the inside looks like. Oh, again, this one is absolutely beautiful. The first 3 shades. This one is actually a duochrome, which is that one there. Second, and this is the duochrome. I don't know if you can see the effect. It's like a between red and green. I'm actually going to swatch it on the side of my hand just so that you can see the switch. Okay, let me try and swatch this here and see if it makes a difference. So it's a shift of green and red. So this Glam Walmart palette is actually got 5 shimmers. So I'm going to swatch the next 2 shimmers now, which are like special shades. So they are like the type of shimmers I swatched last time. So it's one of those ones where you have to let it melt on your skin and then you can swatch it. So I'm going to take my time, just kind of like spread it over my hand, let it melt, and then swipe. And this is the last one. Again, same thing. Oh, look at that. Honestly, this palette is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Still going. I think I can do one more swatch. Absolutely gorgeous. This one is a beautiful one. If you like greens, you are gonna love this one. So that is the Glam Walmart palette, and let me just put it beside the swatches. I mean, the inner palette, the color, the brown does not do it justice at all. Don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but it's a beautiful palette. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Alright, the last 2 palettes are 10 pan palettes, and I will start with this one. So this is called Balonowa Palette. Balonowa Palette, and it's like a pastel palette, really. It is a pastel palette, and it is a beautiful pastel palette. So it's not washed out. It's actually got a little bit of depth within the colors, which is why I kind of picked it. So it's not like your typical chalky shades. So it's quite got a little bit of depth in them, and we're just going to swatch them. Alright, the palette has got 4 shimmers, and the shimmers are very soft, so be very, very careful. If you do buy this palette, be very careful when you're applying the shades. So this yellow is not as soft as the others. It's still a little bit like a normal shimmer, but these ones are very soft in the pan. And be careful when you dip your hands in, especially this last one. Absolutely beautiful. So these are the shimmers in the palette. Alright, because this palette is a pastel palette, I'm going to swatch 3 of the mattes just so you can see the intensity of them. Like I said, I'm never worried about Glamshop shadows. Remember that these are pastel shades. Oh, beautiful. So To me, they don't look chalky. There's no, it's light, but it's not chalky. It's not powdery, if you like. Okay, and that's the Balonowa palette. Alright, moving on to the last palette. Is called Kolorlove. And one thing to point out in this palette, although they are the same design, this is grayed out, the cover is grayed out, the packaging, but the palette itself has got colors in the design, just in case packaging matters to you. And this is the inside of the Kolorlove palette. Oh, I just love the gradient of the green, and that's what attracted me to this palette. The gradient of the green is beautiful. It's like different. All the five even. All the five are totally different shades, but they're still in the green family. Okay, this palette has 5 shimmers and 5 mattes. So all these bottom are shimmers and the top are mattes. So I'm going to swatch. I'm going to start with the bottom row, which is all the shimmers. So that's like a lilac-y purple. And that's a lilac-y blue, I want to say. That's mint green. Teal green. And this is more like a between teal and normal green. Oh, beautiful. Okay, let's get to the mattes. Alright, these are the 5 mattes. Now, some of these mattes are actually very soft and quite crumbly, so be very careful when you're taking out the shades. So that's the first one, and 2 of them are pastel light colors as well. So this is the ones that are pastel like, those 2. And those are the mattes. So this is the Kolorlove palette, and both this one and the one I swatched before this were both on sales, so they were like half price or something like that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful palette. I think it was like, God, probably about $10 or 10 euros, you like. Okay, and that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed my swatches. If you like any of the shadows, like I said, make your purchases. Glamshop is a brand that I do trust. I've used a lot of their palettes, I've used a lot of their products, and none of them has failed me yet. So that's my take. That's the end of this video. If you've enjoyed my swatches and if you've enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'll see you.